have you?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Artist Reads the Bible. Today I'm going to be starting with Numbers 11. It's a little lengthy. 12's pretty short. I'll probably do 11 and 12. I ain't sure yet, but I'm going to do at least 11. As usual, got my highlighter, got my decaf Java juice, and I got the Living Word of God. Oh, my voice is... Of course, it was snowing today. It was pretty warm yesterday or day before, and it snowed today. That's why my throat, my sinuses, oh, Lord. Well, plus I had to wear that mask for an hour and a half at the VA today, so, because it's a government building. That probably has something to do with why I'm raspy voice. Let's get reading, shall we? Soon the people began to complain about their hardship, and the Lord heard everything they said. Then the Lord's anger blazed against them, and he sent a fire to rage among them. And he destroyed some of the people in the outskirts of the camp. Then the people screamed to Moses for help, and when he prayed to the Lord, the fire stopped. After that, the area was known as Taberah, which means the place of burning, because fire from the Lord had burned among them there. Then the foreign rabble who were traveling with the Israelites began to crave the good things of Egypt, and the people of Israel also began to complain. Oh, for some meat. Oh, for some meat, they exclaimed. We remember the fish we used to eat for free in Egypt. And we go complaining again. See, that baffles me, man, because, direct signs from God, direct seeing, they seen the Red Sea parted, and they seen the plagues, and they seen the fire above the temple and the cloud, and they still complain. I know we do it today, but I don't know. I can say if I had seen direct things from God, or I heard God's voice, or angel told me, and I would be more, yes, sir, but truth is, I don't know for sure. You would think they would, but they didn't, so I don't know. And we had all the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic we wanted. But now our appetites are gone. All we ever see is this manna, which God sent from heaven. You know what? That's what I was saying in a past episode. When I get to heaven, that's one thing I do want to eat. I know in heaven there'll be no need for food, but it says you can eat if you want. I want to try manna. A couple places the Bible talks about it, and it comes from God, man. I can't believe they're complaining about eating it. Can you imagine? It come from God. Man, it's got to be delicious. The manna looked like small coriander seeds, and it was pale yellow like gum resin. The people would go out and gather it from the ground. They made flour by grinding it with hand mills or pounding it in mortars. Then they boiled it in a pot and made it into flat cakes. These cakes tasted like pastries baked with olive oil. See, pastries, that's sweet, I think, isn't it? The manna came down on the camp with the dew during the night. Moses heard all the family standing in the doorways of their tents whining, and the Lord became extremely angry. Moses was also very aggravated. And Moses said to the Lord, "Why are you treating me, your servant, so harshly? Have mercy on me. What did I do to deserve the burden of all these people? Did I give birth to them? Did I bring them into the world? Why did you tell me to carry them in my arms like a mother carries a nursing baby? How can I carry them to the land you swore to give their ancestors? Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people?" Well, even Moses was doubting God. He's giving you manna. You can eat. They keep whining to me, saying, "Give us meat to eat." I can't carry all these people by myself. The load is far too heavy. Well, it's not, because it says in the Bible, God will not put more on you than you can handle. Sometimes you might think you can't handle it, but you're still alive, ain't you? So obviously you can handle it. If this is how you intend to treat me, just go ahead and kill me. I don't think I'd be saying that to God. Do me a favor and spare me this misery. Then the Lord said to Moses, gather before me 70 men who are recognized as elders and leaders of Israel. Bring them to the tabernacle to stand there with you. I will come down and talk to you there. I will take some of the Spirit that is upon you, and I will put Spirit upon them also. They will bear the burden of the people along with you, so you will not have to carry it alone. And say to the people, purify yourselves, for tomorrow you will have meat to eat. You were whining, and the Lord heard you when you cried, oh, for some meat. We were better off in Egypt. Now the Lord will give you meat, and you will have to eat it. And it won't be for just a day or two, or for 5 or 10, or even 20. You will eat it for a whole month until you gag and are sick of it. Like God had enough of them Israelites. For you have rejected the Lord who is here among you, and you have whined to him, saying, why did we ever leave Egypt? But Moses responded to the Lord, there are 600,000 foot soldiers here with me, and yet you say I will give them meat for a whole month. You're talking to God, and you're doubting what God says? Even if we butchered, there you go. Even if we butchered all our flocks and herds, would that satisfy them? Even if we caught all the fish in the sea, would that be enough? There's a lot of fish in the sea. Then the Lord said to Moses, has my arm lost its power? Now you will see whether or not my word comes true. So Moses went out and reported the Lord's word to the people. He gathered the 70 elders and stationed them around the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to Moses. Then he gave the 70 elders the same spirit that was upon Moses. And when the spirit rested upon them, they prophesied. But this never happened again. 2 men, Eldad and Medad, had stayed behind in the camp. They were listed among the elders, but they had not gone out to the tabernacle. Yet the Spirit rested upon them as well. So they prophesied there in the camp. A young man ran and reported to Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Joshua, son of Nun, who had been Moses' assistant since his youth, protested, Moses, my master, make them stop. But Moses replied, are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his Spirit upon them all. Then Moses returned to the camp with the elders of Israel. Now the Lord sent a wind that brought quail from the sea and let them fall all around the camp. Quail from the sea? I thought quail lived in like woods and stuff. Get back in there around sea. For miles in every direction there were quail flying about 3 feet above the ground. So the people went out and caught quail all that day and throughout the night and all the next day too. No one gathered less than 50 bushels. That was a lot of quail. They spread the quail all around the camp to dry. I'm thinking not to dry, maybe after they butchered them. Because a quail's a small bird. I mean, I'm thinking right? It's a small, it's like, what is it, a pheasant bird? I don't know. But they're small. That's what I'm thinking, right? I mean, people hunt them today, correct? Send a dog in, flush them out, and then they take off flying, you shoot them. I mean, that is what I'm thinking of, right? That's what they're talking about, right? But while they were gorging themselves on the meat, while it was still in their mouths, the anger of the Lord blazed against people, and he struck them with a severe plague. So that place was called Kibroth Hattaavah, which means graves of gluttony, because there they buried the people who had craved meat from Egypt. From Kibroth Hattaavah, the Israelites traveled to Hazeroth, where they stayed for some time. And that was 11. I'm going to read 12. Yeah, I think I will. Let me get a little Java juice. So talking about gluttony right there. For those that didn't know it, gluttony is a sin. And I'm going to tell you, I sinned today. Because I eat. Well, and I'm actually on a diet. And I hope Texas Roadhouse knows what they're talking about. I usually get a 12-ounce ribeye, which is 960 calories. And then an additional 330 calories for a house salad with low-fat ranch and a bowl of chili with no cheese. Because cheese is a lot of calories. And that's 1,300, well, what was it? Yeah, I think it's 1,330 calories or something. Anyway, yeah, it's 1,300 and something calories. Well, we went today, and I got to looking at the menu. She's like, well, they got calories on there. And, figure out what you want. And I got to looking at sirloin. Now, remember, I told you a 12-ounce ribeye was 960 calories. Well, they had 4 sirloins. What was it? 8, 10, 12, 16. I don't know. Anyway, the 16-ounce, which is 1 pound, sirloin was only 660 calories. Or 600, 670, something like that. Just shy of 700 calories. And I thought, how can this be? A 12-ounce ribeye is 960. But a 16-ounce sirloin is only 600 and something. That's 300 less calories. Now, I understand ribeye has a lot of fat on it, and fat is a lot of calories. Sirloin has very little fat at all. That's why they tell heart patients like me, if you're going to eat red meat, eat sirloin. Oh, excuse me. Well, so I had 16-ounce sirloin. And I ate the whole 16-ounce sirloin and the salad and the chili. In one word, that's gluttony. 16-ounce steak, that's a pound of meat. That's gluttonous. Whew, I'm paying you all hear me. Ugh, I'm paying for it now. I love coffee. All right, chapter 12. While they were at Hazeroth, Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses because he had married a Cushite woman. They said, has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hadn't he spoken through us too? But the Lord heard them. Now Moses was very humble, more humble than any other person on earth. So immediately the Lord called to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam and said, go out to the tabernacle, all 3 of you. So the 3 of them went to the tabernacle. Then the Lord descended in the pillar of cloud and stood at the entrance of the tabernacle. That's what I'm talking about. They see God. And still you're disobedient. Still you question the Creator who created everything. I mean, I could sit here and say that if God appeared for me, there's no way in crap I'm ever going to be disobedient again. But the fact of the matter is, it says in the Bible, we're all sinners and we fall short of the glory of God. I guess no matter how hard you try, you're still going to sin. It's almost inevitable. Doesn't give you permission to just go all willy-nilly sinning. But, no matter how hard you try, you are going to slip up. We're human. But, man, that just baffles me, man. Okay, stood there. Aaron and Miriam, he called, and they stepped forward. And the Lord said to them, now listen to what I say. If there were prophets among you, I, the Lord, would reveal myself in visions. I would speak to them in dreams. But not with my servant Moses. Of all my house, he is the one I trust. I speak to him face to face, clearly, and not in riddles. He sees the Lord as he is. So why were you not afraid to criticize my servant Moses? The Lord was very angry with them, and he departed. As the cloud moved from above the tabernacle, there stood Miriam, her skin as white as snow from leprosy. When Aaron saw what had happened to her, he cried out to Moses, oh, my master, please don't punish us for this sin we have foolishly committed. Don't let her be like a stillborn baby, already decayed at birth. So Moses cried out to the Lord, "O God, I beg you, please heal her." But the Lord said to Moses, "If her father had done nothing more than spit in her face, wouldn't she be defiled for 7 days? So keep her outside the camp for 7 days, and after that she may be accepted back." So Miriam was kept outside the camp for 7 days, and the people waited until she was brought back before they traveled again. Then they left Hazeroth and camped in the wilderness of Paran. And that was 12. Not bad. Told you 12 is kind of short. Oh, I feel a little better. Reading God's Word always makes me feel better. Whew, rough day, like I said. Give me some more Java juice here. So yeah, eventful day, to say the least. Whew, man. What's the old saying? I'll get too old for this crap. Man, I tell you. My mind tells me I'm a 20-year-old man, or boy rather, at that age. But then my body reminds me that I'm 53 years old. I'm just well, I know it's the heart failure and COPD and all the arthritis I got from the Army and everything else, I just get so wore out anymore. And all I did is I went, talked to psych for an hour and a half VA, and then we went to Kay's jeweler to get her rings checked out for a warranty thing, and then she dragged me in the mall to, it's not Bed Bath and Beyond. So one of them sells like hand soaps and lotions and, I don't know, perfumey type stuff. Bath and Body Works, that sounds familiar. I think that's what it is. I had to go in there. And then after that, we went back through the bookstore. While I was in there, I was like, you know what? I always do Sudoku puzzles on the internet, but I think maybe I'm going to give me a puzzle book and, or I'm laying in bed or I go I pretty much got internet anywhere I go with my phone. 4G or 5G, I don't know. But I don't know, we got a puzzle book to do Sudoku puzzles. And it's like $6. Ain't that bad. And then I decided, well, I wasn't going to eat today over there because I get tired every time we go somewhere. We got to eat out. That gets expensive. But I got hungry. So we ate out. And then the ride home, I just that little bit wore me out, man. Well, I did exercise today too I pointed to my treadmill. I didn't do my treadmill. I did Beat Saber through my VR headsets where you go with the blocks depending on the arrow, and I kind of dance around to the music while I'm doing it. It's pretty good cardio. I brought my pulse oximeter back here one day and I did a couple of songs, and then I took the headset off and put my pulse oximeter on, and my heart rate was like 140, 145, so that's cardio range for me. My resting heart rate, because of carvedilol, which lowers my heart rate, my resting heart rate is anywhere from the low 60s to about mid 70s, which is good. So, but I think for cardio, you want to get your heart rate, and I'm probably wrong, but I say it has something to do with your age and your resting heart rate, and I don't know, something about that. But I think for me, they wanted me to go about, what was it, maybe 40, 50 beats per minute above my resting switch. So 140 is way above that. Probably shouldn't be getting that high, letting it get that high. But I mean, I gotta have cardio, you know. And I get so tired doing that treadmill. Brutal. I mean, I've been on that treadmill for, 5 years now? Pretty much just day in, day out. I only take 2 days off a week, and I just get tired of it. So I started doing this Beat Saber and dancing around, and it's good cardio because when I get done, I have to occasionally take it off and wipe my glasses, just sweat pouring down, you know. So if you're sweating like crazy, it's cardio. It's good cardio. Unless you're like lifting weights or something, then I think that's strength training. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off here. Hope y'all got something out of today. I know I did. I learned again that the Israelites are obstinate and, as God said, stiff-necked people. God sure does have patience, don't he? Because if you think the Israelites were bad, look at us today. And he ain't burnt the earth up yet. So, I mean, that tells you right there, God has got a tremendous amount of patience. More than us, huh? Anyway, until next time, I love each and every one of you. Y'all please, please, please be good to each other. And I'll bring you something again real soon.